Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to be talking about, of course, the brand new update that's just come out, which of course is the Springfield Jobs update. I predicted it will be a Destination Springfield 2. I was pretty much right, to be honest. It's kind of like a mixture of a few. It's a mixture of a few things actually. The wiki lists it as a mixture of the Burns event and the Burns Casino event, and that it's also a mixture just like the Mafia, like in general, the Mafia storylines we've had in the past. It's a mix of them as well. It's pretty good actually. I think they've really done something good with this update. They've really combined a lot of the good elements of different updates, and they've made it into a really solid update. I actually, and this is probably a little bit controversial, I'm not 100% sure of this point yet, and I will confirm this point if I still stand by this point after of course the update's over, after I do my content list. I will confirm whether or not I still agree with this point, but I think this actually beats Destination Springfield 1. There you go. There you go. I'll see if I stick with that. We'll see if I stick with that anyway. Later on, we'll have to see. But for the most part, I think this is a really solid update, and I think it's one of the best we've had in the last 2 or 3 years by far. And the main reason is, of course, the first one we're going to talk about is characters. So here's a compilation of all the characters we're going to be getting, and some of them we've already got. Now, to be honest, what I love, one thing I'm just going to put out, they're all men apart from Nana Sophie, but it doesn't matter, but I'm just saying, it's just kind of funny. But yeah, we've got Aristotle, who is a really cool character. We've got Primo, we got Primo and the two Dantes. They were just minor characters, but I'm glad they added them in the game, and they've actually made them into pretty big characters from what I can tell so far. They've made them into they've actually made them have a purpose. I like how Aristotle's in a way, he's kind of leading it. I like that because, of course, he is this kind of crooked, businessman, a little bit like Mr. Burns. He's kind of Mr. Burns' sort of rival. We've got Nana Sophie, of course, who's the final prize for Act 1. Really cool character. One I definitely wanted. Fit Tony, who I definitely wanted in the game. He's his actual character as well, and I'm glad he is his actual character. We've got the Pope, who's pretty interesting. Interesting to see. We've got Wheels McGarth, who's a really cool character from the Cuba episode. Fernando Vidal, whatever. Who's pretty cool. Mexican Duffman, I'm not too keen on Guy Incognito, but like I said in the last one, I'll let them off. And then all the other characters, you can read them, you can see them. They're all really cool. Arthur Fortune's another really one I'm really glad they added. In terms of big characters they've added, Aristotle, I would say, is a big character. Nana Sophie is a biggish character as well. She's appeared in quite a few flashbacks. I'd say Fit Tony is as well. Arthur Fortune is a pretty big character as well. And yeah, so I'd say 4 big characters they've added in. Maybe not so much Arthur Fortune, but he has appeared in a few episodes. He was only really big in 2 episodes though. So yeah, that's characters. So that was pretty solid in characters. So you'd think, all right, well they've got characters. They've got characters on the lockdown, that they've got them really good. But anyway, if we move along to the structure, the general structure, so we'll have a quick look at this. Of course, they are doing the Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, like they always do with big events. Of course, we've got just a simple thing. We've got plunders in there, which is the currency. We've got land tokens, but of course, in the Act 1, then we've got Primo and we've got Nana, so 2 characters as 2 characters in the first act, which is really cool. Some really awesome buildings, but it's just generally an easy to play. We'll see how easy it is actually, but for you got 15 days to do it, so 15 days is pretty standard. But there you go, really awesome, nice. Cool structure, I think, and I like how they've kind of blended all the different countries in. They've mixed all the different countries in. I think that's really is going to work well. So I'm glad that they're actually doing that. Moving along, we have the store here. So the store is pretty reasonable, nothing too exciting about it, just like normal. The one thing I'm going to talk about is the bundle, the Calabresi bundle. That is way too expensive. I just want to say, 300 donuts for 2 playable characters who've hardly been there. Even if they can do heists, I reckon that should be 200 donuts at the minimum. So I think that was a ridiculous price. But the Coliseum, 100 donuts is a little, you can't really blame them for making that 100 donuts. It's a pretty good big building, and it helps towards the thing. And of course, Giles McCarth, 150 with the lounge is pretty standard as well. They're just a few things that are in the store at the minute, but they've also added, of course, all the old items, which is pretty awesome. It's good to have all the old items back. Another really annoying thing they've kind of done, well, I say another annoying thing, there isn't really many, but of course they have done it again. EA will always do it, I reckon. I reckon this is probably going to be a thing now for every big update, which really, really sucks. But of course they've added Svengali in the actual store where you can purchase donuts. He comes with the bundle for the $9.99 bundle. I'm not sure what that is in dollars and euros, but go for Lorkin for euros and go for Nuke for dollars if you want to find out. One of them will have a video up soon, I presume. But yeah, added Svengali with the Hypnos tent, of course. I'm glad that it actually is a little bit, not worth it, but it's a little bit better than a shitty costume, but it's still really, really annoying. Crafting, I was a little bit underwhelmed with the crafting. I thought maybe they could have, I didn't like all those, we had all those buildings, those little tower house buildings, which I'll show in a minute. I didn't like how many of them there were. I thought that the terraced house buildings even. I didn't like how many of how many of them were in the Act 1. But what I do like about this crafting, way more than all the other crafting, that just trumps all the other crafting out the water, is the sorry, excuse me, I've got a really bad cough today. Is they've just completely scrapped the level thing in this event, which I like. I hate the level thing in crafting. If I want to craft something, I like how you have to progress, you get this thing and then you unlock this thing. I don't mind that, but when they have the whole level system where you can skip it and stuff, I don't really like that. But what I like about this is they've split it off into acts. So for Act 1, you can make these certain things. For Act 2, you can make these certain things. For Act 3, and there was some unlocked because of quests, which is fine. But I like that a lot more than the level system. I'm glad they've just scrapped that, to be honest. For this event, it's just tedious to try and level up, to try and craft things. If you want to have crafting, that's fine. Just make it so they're all available, apart from maybe one final prize. Apart from, yeah, I think that would work. Also, something unique they've done, well, not unique, they've done before with the Wild West. I think the Wild West was the last thing, is they've done the heist scenes. So basically, you unlock certain items, and you can actually watch a scene, which will play of the heist, which is really, really cool. So I like to, of course, this is the thing. You have to unlock the cheese truck, the bow. You have to unlock Primo there, or Primo, whatever you want to call them, and then you get actually a scene. Here's a screenshot of the little scene here. It's nothing too complex. It is just them, it is just tapped out footage essentially. It's not an actual proper film scene like we got in Act Maggie on the Christmas update all those years ago. But the fact that they've actually spent the time to do this, I actually like. I like it when they did this in the Wild West. I thought that it was a nice touch to the Wild West update, and I like how they did it here. I think it really does work well, and at least the first one anyway that I saw, I really enjoyed, and I hope they continue with that. I really do. I will be annoyed if in future updates. I hope they continue with that in future updates, because it does show a lot more kind of it shows precision. They're caring for the update. Anyway, so we've also got the act buildings here. So these are the different buildings we're going to be getting each act. So Act 1, we had the Museum of Super Fine Arts. Of course, they're doing this thing that they took from the Battle Royale, where you basically combine decorations around the building to, of course, improve the building's sort of percentage. I don't know how I feel about this idea. I kind of don't like it, because it basically forces me just to cluster a bunch of shit with this building. I wish the radius was far bigger. It would be way better if the radius was just far bigger, because I just feel like it's just really clunky. I'm not a massive fan of that. I think that's my one take. I really wish they just left that with the Battle Royale update. I don't particularly like it. I don't mind them having a different building each act. I actually like that. I don't understand why we have to have this whole radius thing. We have to add decorations. But of course, the Tower of Springfield there, and Monty Burns Resort Casino, so I'll be glad to get them soon. Those three, though, they actually are really, really cool buildings. All three of them look really, really awesome, so that's cool to get. And then finally, I'm just going to quickly showcase. So real quick, we'll just look at these buildings. So here are all these little tower, these little parts of a house that you have to get. I was talking about, of course, there's that big statue thing with the Lamborghini on top. There's the Colosseum, really, really cool. We have the Museum of Fine Arts there. Again, all these buildings here, I honestly just, like I said, I don't really like them, but there's a little showcase of them. Oh, yeah, that was another thing. Hang on. Anyway, let's go to the next one anyway. So moving along, here we have some other things. So quickly, I just want to mention the little rowing boat that you can place on rivers. I really love that. I think that's really, really awesome. They've actually added that, that it's not just placed on the sea, it's actually placed on rivers. I actually think that's a really, really cool addition. Plunderous Pete's there. We've got the cathedral thing there. We've got the Clash Lounge that came with Thingy Majingy, the Cheese Truck, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Some really, really awesome buildings there. Just a quick little showcase. So yeah, back to the splash screen. So, this video is going a little over, but there's so much to talk about in this because this update is so packed. I felt really underwhelmed with Battle Royale. It actually kind of took me, like, there are updates for me that really kind of, like, draw me out of Tap Royale. Like, I'm just not interested. Battle Royale was one of those updates. Battle Royale really got me disinterested in Tap for a bit. This update is really sprung my interest. Like, when I saw it last night, I was so excited. I've never been so excited for an update before. So, yeah, I mean, I think this update is near to perfect. There's only a few little minor things I have. First of all, I experienced a few. I only played a little bit. I experienced a few bugs, especially when I tried to purchase the thing with Wheels McCarthy, the lounge, the plane lounge thing. I don't know about you guys, but when I first tried to purchase that, it froze my game. I tried to purchase it again, it froze my game again. So I thought, shit, maybe I won't be able to actually have this item because it's just going to keep freezing my game when I try and buy it. And then what I did is I just completed the act and then bought it, and then it was fine. I had a few other little things where things would just freeze. Like, I don't know, I've experienced a few bugs with this update. It's not a big thing. I usually don't complain about minor little bugs, but for me, they happened more than once. So I'm just going to address it. I think that's it's nothing to do with the update. It's more to do with the game. And it might be because it may be because I've got loads of decorations in my town, and that's fair. And also they added no land, but to be fair, I think there's plenty of land in the game at this point in the time. I will tell you when I think there's not enough land. At the minute, I think there's plenty of land. So I reckon they can go an update without adding land. They can go a big update. I reckon the next big update that they should add some. And I really want them to add not the strip that goes to the sea. I want them to add the other strip that goes to the mountains. I want them to add that strip next time because they haven't added that one in a while. And yeah, that one is quite large, to be fair, and I really want to expand that part of my Springfield as well. So, yeah. So, I mean, there's not really much more to talk about this update. It honestly is close to perfect for me. I want to see what you guys think, definitely. I hope I'm not in the minority here. I definitely think, so far, it completely destroys Battle Royale. I mean, I don't think there's much question about it in my opinion. But yeah, so leave your thoughts in the comment section. I think the characters are solid. I think the buildings are solid. I think some of the decorations could be worked on a little bit, but for the most part, they're pretty solid too. I think the structure is solid. I think the no, I've already talked about the characters. The crafting is pretty good as well. I don't mind the crafting in this one. I would prefer if they just scrap crafting altogether, but of course, comparing it to other updates, the crafting in this one is very reasonable. So yeah, I mean, honestly, that's all I got to say. It's close to perfect. Really is. I love it. So far, I'm thinking it's beaten the first Destination Springfield, which is actually quite surprising. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please tell me your thoughts, like I said, and I'll see you next one. Goodbye.